All right, so what I've got going on today is I'm replacing a Tesla Model 3 seat controller, and you can see where it broke there. I've got the new controller here, and we need to remove this plastic piece here enough to get access to the seat controller, and then that way we can do the replacement. So what you need to do initially is underneath there is a screw somewhere under here. Can't really see it from there, but if you feel back here, I'm going to try to point to it with this. It's right about there. So once you get that loosened up, you can pull up on this back section here, and that will just pop up and over. And then down here you can see that you want to kind of pull on this. You might have to push it through from the back side or use some needle nose pliers right here, because you need to clamp down on these teeth here to get that to slip out. But it does feel like you're kind of breaking it when you're pulling it out. But if you can pry down or clamp down on those teeth, it will pull out, and then you'll have full access to the controller here. And then what you're going to do next is we're going to wiggle out this wire on the controller, and it will come out. It seems like it's like pulling some wiring or gonna break or something, but I assure you, if you just pull on it, it will eventually come out. Just take it easy and wiggle it, and then it's out. And then after that, we can actually take this controller off now. And this is a T15, and so we're loosening that up. There are 3 screws here. I'm gonna go ahead and take all 3 of those off. And once you get those off, you can kind of pull on this a little bit, just wiggle it as you pull out, and it will eventually give. But you can also use a small screwdriver or something like that and just slide it in and eventually pry it. So that just clips right back into place. Okay, so this is the old controller. And you can see you pop this off, it has no lumbar support. And this is the new controller with the lumbar support on it. And so I'm going to see if that maybe activates a lumbar controller or support inside of there. I'm not sure. But basically this goes on the same way that it came off, just in reverse. And you can see the new joystick here for, I believe, is lumbar support. So that raises this up and down, in and out, a couple different options. But what I'm going to do now is attach this with the fasteners and the T15 screws. And then I'm going to install the buttons that I've got and the new button here for the bottom slide rocker. All right, so we're finishing up tightening up the T15 machine screws. So now the new controller module is in, and what we're going to do is reattach the electronics. Actually, it might be a good idea to put these rocker switches back on first. That way I'm not like jarring around the controller as I'm putting these on. And so you'll want to put this bottom in first, and then this top one here clips into this little groove. It's kind of going to happen at the same time, just like that. Kind of feels like it's staying in place though. There we go. Now it feels right. Okay. So yeah, you want to make sure you feel this bottom one click in place. It wasn't clicked in place before, so it was sticking. And this is the bottom rocker that goes here that was also broken in the process. Okay, so the way that this goes in is, you see how this angle, it's got like this 45-degree angle or whatever on the top, it's rounded up. The same idea goes for the front. So this is the front part of the seat, the flat here on the bottom, and this straight part going straight up and down. That way, if you can imagine this piece here, it looks like a chair, right? It looks like a seat, kind of like the Tesla seat. And then you want to make sure you line up these 2 grooves with these 2 outside posts here, and they're going to all 3 snap in place, just like that. Now I'm going to plug in the electronics. I'm going to make sure that this thing works before I button it all up. And that would just clip right in place. I didn't feel or hear any clip. I just know that I felt that push all the way in. And so I can see my seat moving forward just like this. I'm not sure there was lumbar support in that. I'll know when I sit down. We'll find out in a minute. And this also works back and forth. Or it should. It's not letting me go forward. Okay. Because look, you can move it from there. So this is the controller knob from Amazon that I bought, and this one is actually from a Tesla Model 3. It's sitting right over there, and you can see the slight difference. Again, I switched them, but this is the Tesla Model 3 and the one from Amazon. So you can see they're a little different inside, but they pretty much look the same. This one is the one that's not working right now though. That's the Amazon one. This is from the Tesla. And so I'm going to pop this one in and see if it's just... Yeah, see, that one's working just fine. Allowing it to move freely front and back, up and down. Okay, so that popped off pretty easy. I'm going to try this one again. We're going to put it in the same way that we did with the Tesla OEM knob. And it is not allowing, with a lot of push, it will go. Yeah, I don't know. Something's weird about it. Yeah, I'm going to try and buy another one and see how well that one works. So basically what we're going to do is just reverse what we did, getting this thing off. And we're going to start by sliding this back piece on here over the top. Over the top and side, just like that. Okay, and then this right here, whoops, we'll just push back into place in this groove. Let's see if you can see that groove there. It's just going to slide right into place like that. And then that's popped into place. And then the front here, of course, we have to reattach it with the screw. And you can see it does work. It just takes, it's probably easier to use while you're sitting in the seat. So it takes some force to go. I'm afraid it might break again, but it'll work for now. So it's working good going back, up, down. This is like your angle up and down. What is really unfortunate is moving forward. I have to push it really hard to get it to go forward. I mean, it works. It's not the controller though, because you saw we tested the controller without the switch on and it worked just fine. That works just fine. Let me feel the lumbar support. So there is no lumbar support in this seat, is what it seems like, because nothing's moving around back there. So this joystick part isn't doing anything for my car, but if yours had lumbar support in it, then it would for yours. But I'm going to look into a different button for this, because that's not really going to work for me. That's a little difficult. I think my wife is going to be the only one really sitting in this seat, and if she has to push it that hard, that's going to be frustrating. But that's it. I'm going to tag the right button in the description of this video and the controller in the description of this video, and I hope this helps you guys make a decision on what to buy when you're needing to replace your seat controller. So I've got a new rocker switch for that seat, and I'm going to try it out. Okay, so I'm going to pop this old one off. This is the one that was really bad. Let me grab that. And you can see it's already kind of started to crack down there. So this is the old one. It's kind of cracked and beat up now that I've taken it on and off multiple times. And this is the new one. Now, I don't know if you remember, but you can look back in the video, but you see these little extra support tabs in here on the sides here. and they're not on this one. This one is more like the OEM from the Tesla manufacturer itself, and so I'm going to pop that on. Make sure these are lined up. Perfect. That's exactly what I need it to do. The old one, obviously, you could see didn't work, and I had to give it a lot of force. So I'm going to put the correct links down here in the description, and you guys will be able to pick up the correct controller and the correct rocker that is going to work for you for your replacement.